matches, but great performances.
Welcome back, Magic again. Good afternoon to Barry McDermott and Mark Wilson, who are going to take us through game one of day one.
Cheers, Brian. What a weekend ahead, and what a game to start that weekend. Two teams in the top six, and two teams with genuine Old Trafford ambitions. We must wish before we start happy birthday to the man in the middle, Chris Kendall. Hope he has a good day. And Barry McDermott, I think we're set for an absolute cracker.
We can't wait for this game, Mark. Usually, Magic weekend, we start off with a formula of good, better, best in the three games. This could be the game of the weekend. Two fabulous teams, different contrasting styles, but I'm looking forward to enterprising Open Rugby League and plenty of points scored.
Salford in there. Change strip, about to get us underway. Mark Sneed making his 300th career appearance today. Will kick off, and Rovers will get first use of the ball. Back-to-back losses for Rovers, but they've got 5 on the spin against Salford, and they'll be hoping to hit the ground running here. They get it 10 off their own line. Looking to work, but Salford in, hungry in defence early on.
Well, the game last week for Salford probably hinged a little bit on their application defensively. They're always outstanding with the ball. It was something Paul Rowley, the coach, talked about. I need my side to be better defensively, but what they throw at teams, the questions they ask with the ball is as good as anybody in the league.
Well, they have it now, 30 away, looking to work it across the field. Here goes Sue, big carry for him. I thought he was good against Wigan last week. Last one, they're trying to get pressure on the kicker, but Lewis steps away from one. He will put it high. The sun in the eyes, but Seo takes it and gets tackled. What do we make of that opening set for Rovers?
High and short from Hull KR when they get to the back end of the set. I'm not sure whether that was by accident or design. Some teams kick to hit, some teams kick to contest. We'll have to wait and see what the approach of Hull KR was, because when I went back and watched the round 2 game between these two teams, Jordan Abdul's kicking game was absolutely outstanding, and the major difference between the two sides.
Well, Salford get up towards the halfway line. Now looking to get the ball towards this near side. A nice short pass here for Watkins. Can he get the offload away? He does for Croft. Good tackle from Coote. Had to be as well. Already Salford playing some nice, attractive rugby here. Last one. They're going to kick Sneed high towards the far side. Pressure on. Ball batted back for Salford. Lafay has it. He's going to put the kick in. Was that played at? It's picked up. And the referee now has awarded a penalty here for Salford, so an early chance here for the Red Devils.
Well, there you go. The Hull KR kick was kick to hit, and when that kick goes up, look at the contest in the air. I think Tim Lafay is the player who eventually gets it.
Well, here comes Salford then. Repeat set. And there, carrying the ball. Here's Dupree, a man who's been linked, of course, with a move away from Salford. Hull Kingston Rovers, potential suitors, set restart here. They're going to try and pinch one from close in. Don't think they grounded it, though. Atkin it was who tried to dive over the line. The referee's going to want to check this one out.
We're checking it.
Did he get the grounding?
Jack, we're coming up to first tackle, mate. I have no try. Just check grounding, please.
Tackle 1, no try. We'll check grounding, please. Is in possession here. The ball appears to just be lost on that angle. If we've got something else as a post, just gets in the way. This angle. It's all part of making the tackle. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Pretty simple decision for the first one. And we saw that Chris Atkin didn't maintain possession, but there was some good last-ditch tackling in there from Rovers.
That's the threat he's got, Chris Atkin, isn't it? No Andy Ackers, who has been outstanding for the last couple of seasons, picked up that injury against Hull FC last week, but Chris Atkin saw the opportunity, and we'll see that again a couple of times, I'm sure, during the game. Short, sharp.
Heads in.
player out of dummy half asks lots of questions.
Yeah, let's get down to pitch side then. John Wells.
Good afternoon, Mark. Weather report for you first. Glorious. Atmosphere report, brilliant. Pitch report, perfect. And I've also got a ticket sales report as well. We are hearing sales up on last year, looking for in excess of 65,000 mark over this weekend. So all good news.
Good man. I hope you've got the factor 50 on down there, Wellsy. There's a penalty here for dragging the Rovers player into touch, so
here we are, boys.
Hull Kingston Rovers will get the ball towards their 40-metre line. Bit of a needless one to give away that as well,
just a bit of a shame. You can see the legacy of last week and the messages from the coach, Paul Rowley. Let's be better on defence. Let's have more effort. Jamie Jones-Buchanan talked about the effort areas of the game. You've got to get that right.
Kane Lynette with a carry. As Rovers in midfield then. Over the halfway line they go.
Oliver!
Parcell looking, pointing, eyes up, gets it away to Hadley. Thought about offloading and Sue got hit on suspicion there, but all fair, says Chris Kendall. As Lewis now skips across, finds Corey Hall. He finds Lachlan Coote. Lachlan Coote looking for the pass. Now, was that knocked down? Referee with a decision to make here. And Lachlan Coote, he saw the pass but couldn't quite execute.
It was beautiful interplay. As you can see, that's the back end there. That's the decision that the referee's got. You can see Lachlan Coote tried to find that pass inside Elliot Minchella, who was outstanding last weekend. He just couldn't thread the needle, could he?
Heads in, Chris, head in.
So both sides making errors in possession. So much at stake for these two. Obviously, Rovers have lost their last two. They want to get back that winning thread.
Mark, I think we're going to see mistakes, aren't we? Because both teams like to throw the ball around.
And right on cue, there is one. Laffey couldn't find his man. Could be a break down the far side. Litton it was who's picked it up, but he gets picked up and he has gone into touch. So Salford's error turns into a beneficial one for them.
Yeah, you can see, can't you, that I think the perception or misconception that you've got more space in a big football stadium encourages players to throw that pass. And when they have the attitude that these two teams have, we're going to see plenty of passes. Tim Laffey and Ken Seo, you know, they came back in that game against Hull FC. Ultimately, they were part of the play that won the match for their team, but the difference that they make to the people around them is significant.
You mentioned the big open expanses here. I think Tim Laffey would be looking for an offload in a phone box, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Such is his ability. All over the halfway line, and you hear the collective ooh of the crowd as a big shot goes in. And now coming out to this right-hand side, Briley gets it away. Can't quite find another pass there. His cross is wrapped up. But they're on the attack again here. Salford looking for the first points. Brodie Croft just pops up the ball, taken in. Just laying down the platform here, the Salford forwards. Atkin busy, gets it away to Sneed. Briley, Laffey, ball on the ground. Was that touched by Rovers? It was. Sean Kenny-Dow was looking to sprint the length of the field. Paul Rowley looking on.
Where do you want it?
He knows his side had found an overlap. They'd found a player, but intelligent experience of Sean Kenny-Dow comes in, puts his arm out, almost like a basketballer, snakes that arm out and pats the ball down.
Contact, but they don't use any space suggestions.
Needed to as well.
If they go through the gap, then I agree.
Laffey,
but they're getting no advantage from it.
always looking to promote the ball.
Absolutely, and I think if you read the body language of Paul Rowley, he knows that that's going to come back again and they'll get it right next time.
Well, this time they come to Croft. Croft trying to get on the outside, gets it to Cross. Here's a chance now. Ken Seo cuts in. Can he get the ball over the line? He thinks he's got it down, but Chris Kendall disagrees. What an effort from Rovers. Well, they've gone down the left a couple of times, Salford. They came right, and Seo was inches away from the first try.
It's terrific defence from Hull. He just had the slightest of spaces. Mikey Lewis is in there as well as Corey Hall, and they just prevent Salford from grounding the ball over the line.
Here's more danger though. Laffey doesn't pass this time. Might look for the flick now. He's tackled and he's gone into touch. Hull Kingston Rovers tested out on both edges, but Hull Kingston Rovers come up with a tackle that keeps it 0-0.
Same play, same players. Tim Laffey keeps hold of the ball. And with the 2-3 players in attendance, another wonderful defensive effort. Here's the first one. denying Kensio, holding him up, and he's prolific as a try scorer, Kensio. 5 tries so far.
I thought he was just going to reach out. Lewis did so well there. But Hulkinson Rovers, a knock-on, error, big error from Rovers. Ball spill, Atkin picks it up, just turns it back inside, gap now. 15 away, so Hulkea coming up with a big error. Clearing out their own end of the field, and they're going to be forced to defend again. Sneed just turns it back inside, taken forward. 10 away, 9 away, still standing in the tackle. Dupree wants to play it. Atkin fires the pass to Sneed, finds Croft now. Croft with a short pass to Watkins. Watkins trying to edge his way to the line. Rovers manage again to keep Salford out. And the referee has deemed what the tackle was made here. Has he given that as a double movement? Yeah, he has, promoting the ball after the tackle.
Well, Callum Watkins a few times has got through contact. He's one of the best players at catching the ball at the line. And you can see him wriggling in, attempting to get that ball over. Well, we've seen them given, we've seen them not given. On that occasion, Salford penalised.
Oh, that is a big call.
Dion, get square.
Here is Lynette, well wrapped up.
Here we are, hold Sam,
Shot goes in there. Partington. Rovers will look to get to the end of this set. They've just had some heavy work to do inside their own half, as now they cut towards halfway.
Movement, Callum. Go 4, step to the side.
Rovers not had any good ballers yet. Sue up the middle, can he find an offload? No, he can't. But he does well, gets some post-contact meters. Last one then, chance to put some pressure on the Salford.
Go 5.
Defence here, they're going to go high again towards this near side. Kensio waits underneath it, he will get off the ground, almost jumped past it, but does keep hold of it. And now Rovers will look to put the squeeze on Salford.
You're right, Mark. What have we had there? 10 minutes. We've hardly looked left at all, have we? Paul Royley before the game said we've got to ice our chances. We've got to make sure we convert them. They haven't done so far.
Well, here's Laffey again. He's going to have to take the tackle there because he ran behind his own player.
Matt.
The atmosphere building up, as it will do, of course, throughout the day.
4.
Wigan against Catalans, and Castleford leads to come. As here now, Atkin is going to kick out a dummy half, and he tried to turn Coote round, and he does with a bounce. Coote will pick it up inside his own 20. What's the chase like? Well, they get the pass away here. Sean Kenny-Dowell gets it up to the 30, so in the end they made some meters, and I think Atkin maybe got a handoff, or he's rolled an ankle or something there. He's just struggling to get back into the play here.
You've got Chris Atkin just struggling for Salford, and then Dean Hadley for Hulkea took early knocks.
There's Ryan Hall continuing to make the hit-ups. Nice pass there, back on the inside. Big chance here for Hulkinson Rovers, streaking through the middle. They'll get the ball away. Minchella scores for Rovers. Lovely break up the middle. And the first points go the way of the Robins. They lead by 4-0, much to the delight of those in the Gallagher end.
Ruthless from Hulkea. No chances, no opportunities. It may well be the first open opportunity that they've had. Elliot Minchell, the ultimate recipient of the pass, but the damage was done. Short into passes, nice play. You can just see the coaches on the sideline feeding messages. Willie Peters, Danny Maguire delighted with that. Nice footwork, nice line, and again, short passes, close support. Look at the players feeding through for Salford. They can't get to Hulkea. I thought Elliot Minchella was outstanding last week. When Matt Parcell gets this ball, finds Lachlan Coote. Elliot Minchella could have been forgiven for just holding back a little bit, but he thinks, no, if somebody gets to Lachlan Coote, I'm there, I'm going to get it, and that's a beauty.
1 minute.
Lovely pass from Litton, wasn't it, to get Batchelor through the gap, and then the support on the inside.
He did really well. He stepped off that left leg, went from one defender to another, and drew that second one in and created a nice little space.
Should be a formality for Lachlan Coote right in front of the posts here. Such a welcome boost for Rovers to have him back. There's the goal. 6 points to 0. So first try goes the way of Rovers, but should Salford have had a try at the other end? What did you make of this?
Well, again, I've seen them given. I've seen them scratched off. Callum Watkins looked like he was still moving. For me, it's harder to scratch it off and find a reason not to give it, but the referee was happy with it.
Would you like to see that go to the screen?
I would have done, yes. My instinct at the time was momentum was still going from Callum Watkins.
Well, you mentioned that Willie Peters and Danny Maguire look pretty happy. Well, they will be. They've not had any possession down the other end of the field, and yet they find themselves in front.
No, they've had virtually no field position, and then in terms of possession, it's about 60-40 in favour of the Salford Red Devils, but as we've seen, they've not been able to get over the line, not been able to get that ball down.
And just to clarify that no-try decision at the other end, we are told that Chris Kendall had called held, hence that the play was over. So that's the official reason that try was chalked off. As a high kick here, Hall's going to bat it back. It's caught there by Corey Hall. Ryan Hall will get it back again. He now cuts in field, one-handed offload. It's touched by Salford, and they've knocked that on, have they? It's going to be a set restart. So the Rovers side getting a bounce of the ball there. That was off-the-cuff stuff from Ryan Hall, and now Salford have got a big spell.
Well, Vuniyayo had the ball. The ball chose to wrestle with the Hull KR defender. Just get on the ball, man.
Here's Sue, 10 metres away. A Rovers going to go and hit another try here. Parcell out of dummy half. His studs just let him down, 5 metres away from the line. In at dummy half, Minchella, right underneath the post. They're going to that right-hand side. Litton gets it away now to Coop, finds an offload. Ball coming back on the angle here. Just going to be taken forward by Opacek. He's wrapped up. 10 away. Rovers now splitting their attack. Coming to the left now with Lewis. Lewis short. Lynette offloads back to Lewis. Lewis now looking. Is he going to dribble the kick through? He is, but it's too strong. Too much on it on this occasion from Mikey Lewis.
Again, wonderful anticipation and connection between both players. Mikey Lewis with that trusted left boot sees, I think it's Minchella who tries to get to that. It's only just too long, isn't it?
Brought forward here by Salford, who are looking to end that run. We mentioned it, 5 successive defeats to Hull Kingston Rovers, including in round 2. The ball carried towards the halfway line. Croft. And again, another player slipping here on the surface, which looks immaculate. There's a ball now with, well, that was played at, surely. It is going to be a set restart. So Rovers tried to block the kick.
Adam Sidlow, the big forward, front row, where he plays pretty much anywhere in the pack. He's come on, he's a big offloader, Adam Sidlow.
Well, it's his 350th appearance today, so a big moment for him. There's now Salford on the attack again, and here is Sidlow, carries again. You know what you're getting. There's the attempted block from Minchella. Ball now goes to Sneed. Short pass, trying to back their way in over on that far side. Stone wrapped up. Ball comes back. Centre fielder Sneed. Skips across one. Finds Croft now. Runners out the back. Brightly, one of them. Hands. Good tackle, Ryan Hall. Great tackle, Ryan Hall. And now the offload down the short side. And Corey Hall's going to have to offload this. It's picked up by Salford. And Salford have got it back. What on earth were Rovers doing there?
He was that close to the sideline, Corey Hall.
Well, Salford are going to get another chance here. And now they're looking to get the ball wide. They've got numbers. Dupree offloads it. Great last-ditch tackle. They had 3 men unmarked on that left-hand side, Salford. But they still can't break this defence. Now they're going to go route one, another slip just in front of the post. Can Salford open their account here? Ball comes to this near side. Croft miss out pass, finds Cross. He's going to try and get the ball away. Good tackle, Corey Hall. The yard out from the line. Back they go. Was that played at? Ball knocked on, and that's going to be play on. Well, how on earth have Salford not scored there?
Wow. We said, didn't we, there's going to be plenty of mistakes. These two teams have a similar philosophy. Pass the ball, promote the ball. Let's ask some questions. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Hull KR got A player got to that ball before it ends up in the hands.
Don't go early.
But Corey Hall's going in touch. Ryan Hall, prior to that, comes in and makes a tackle that, for me, prevents a certain try for Salford.
Wait, go through Marcus.
All action this game, isn't it, Mark?
It is, but yet only the 6 points at the moment. Here is that tackle from Ryan Hall.
He needed to come in.
Here going the other way, Sean Kenny Dow wrestling his way into Salford territory.
If Ryan Hall doesn't make that tackle, Ken Seo goes in the corner.
Here's Lewis putting the kick up, and here is Ken Seo. Will get up off the ground, and again he's hit. Good kick chase there from Rovers.
Wait, go on.
It's the same kick, isn't it? Same formula. Kick it high, put pressure on those ball receivers, kick and hit rather than kick and contest, which is what we're seeing from Salford when they get up there.
Here's Callum Watkins, finds his front, wants a quick play of the ball, and he'll get one as well. And dummying his way out is Croft, and Croft's away, and he's got support now. He draws a full-back, they're racing away. Salford are going to score this time. Underneath the post they go. Joe Burgess is over. The brilliance of Brodie Croft unlocks Rovers' defence, and Salford have their first points of the Magic weekend.
Standing from Salford, an outstanding instinct from Joe Burgess. The coach, Paul Rowley, before the game talked about ruck speed. Route 1 being the easiest path for his side to follow. Of course, they throw the pass, they throw the offload. But when they get ruck speed, when they get momentum at the play of the ball, this is what happens. Ryan Hall comes in, makes that tackle on Dion Cross, denying a try for Salford a couple of moments ago. It's a lovely show and go. You'd want to do better than that if you were at marker for Hull KR, but that takes nothing away from the brilliance of Brodie Croft. Susses this perfectly, and Joe Burgess times his support run to perfection, and that's a try right under the black dot.
Joe Burgess in after the break from Brodie Croft. And Croft knew, I think, as soon as he looked to his left-hand side and saw Burgess, all he had to do was draw and pass, and it was a try.
You say that, though, Mark. You see players get that wrong, don't you? Who can't keep that composure, deliver that skill under the bright lights, under the pressure. But those two players absolutely execute it to perfection. A show and go. Corey Hall buys the dummy at marker. Brodie Croft steps off the left foot, goes through the gap, assesses it, and then delivers it on a plate to Joe Burgess.
It seems ironic that Salford have had all that good ball down the other end, not being able to turn it into points, and then they go 80 metres and score a try. But that's what Salford can do. We're all level after Sneed's goal.
That might be the message from Paul Rowley. Don't get too close to the try line, because we can't get it right.
Ball high towards the Salford line.
You know, just think back to that passage of play there.
Wigan Catalans to come on Sky Sports Arena and main event, and Leeds. Castleford wraps up day one, 6 o'clock start for that one, Sky Sports Arena and main event. And if you haven't had enough rugby league, we've got some NRL for you in the morning as well, ahead of Magic Weekend Day 2 that we get underway 11:30. As here comes Salford. Oh, the flick pass was knocked down. It's going to be another set restart. Well, we've seen these two teams, certainly Salford, looking to offload in tight situations. Talk about backing your skill.
Well, I think back to that passage of play there. There's the offload from Callum Watkins, where Ryan Hall stops a certain try. Corey Hall almost goes into touch. It's chaotic, isn't it? It's chaotic.
Here's Atkins, short pass. So far, there's a penalty here. Right on halfway. I have to say, so far, Chris Atkins doing a great job, isn't he? No Andy Ackers, we know about that.
He's a smart player, isn't he? He can play in the backs, in the forwards. You can stick him at loose forward. John Wilkin was talking about the attributes of Mikey Lewis. I think you can say the same thing for Chris Atkin. I think he's got that versatility and will give you everything you need from whatever role and job you give him.
Yeah, former Rovers man, of course. Signed a new contract at Salford. As Sneed drops the ball back, Sidlow will carry it strong, 15 away. So Salford now looking to edge themselves in front. There, in the 20 again. Croft gets it away. Can they find a pass from Dupree? There's a boot gone flying there.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, that. One-on-one, Tyler Dupree will beat most players. And as he loses his boot, I'm not too sure who it is, Mikey Lewis. Well, we love the passion that Mikey Lewis plays the game with, but
it's Dupree who's lost his boot, and the referee stopped play because Hulkinson Rovers threw it away. He's actually stopped the play and said, look, cut that out, we don't need any of that.
Penalising them. Don't stop the play and have everybody looking round saying what's going on. He stops the play because Mikey Lewis throws the boot away. Now we've got to all wait until he does.
Well, the pressure's on Tyler Dupree here. How good is he at tying his bootlaces?
Rabbit round the tree, through the hole.
He looks as though he knows what he's doing. Oh, I think he does. Double knot there. Double knot. It won't come off next time.
Yeah.
His boot has come out.
O'Reilly looking on.
He has then thrown it.
I think he'll have a lot of points to pick out of this opening 22 minutes for Salford.
Well,
There's a lot they can improve on.
I'm glad he did that. Ungentlemanly conduct, and quite right too. Stop throwing boots around, get on with your job.
He's kicking you.
You're not a boot thrower back?
No.
Okay, well, they could take the two, they're not going to bother. That's not the Salford way today, and they're going to carry it forward here with Dupree again. Cross clapping his hands, wants a quick play of the ball, but then he's pushed out of the way. Atkin gets in there. Croft now will get the ball away. Partington will carry. Salford looking for more points. Lined up to that left side, but Atkins coming down the short side, but he ran behind his own man, and he realised straight away and went to ground and saved himself giving away a penalty. Ball will fire across to Sneed. Sneed finds Briley. Here's Laffey. Laffey looking to get on top of Opacek. Bumps him off, comes back inside, and he's tackled.
Ruiz for. Wait, go for, play on for.
And they come now. Croft. Short pass up the middle. Good defence. They didn't switch off there. That was a nice tackle. Lewis it was. Last one. Croft has it. Feigns to kick. Then he's going to spin the ball out to Briley. Briley now looking to get to an edge. Can he find a kick? He puts it in. Laffey couldn't get on the end of it. Oh, it's an awful pass. And Hulkinson Rovers once again. What are they doing behind their own line? Well, you've used the word crazy, Barry. That was crazy.
Chaos, absolute chaos. Ryan Briley decides to thread it through and see what comes off the back of it. And Sean Kenny Dowell passes to his fullback. They're almost running towards each other. My word, there is some experience in the minds of those two players.
Hectic start here. They're going to go shortish.
Surrender!
Sam Stone has left the field for a head injury assessment. So we'll find out how he gets on. Salford get the ball back. 30 away. Atkin. Croft. Ball back on the inside. Was a OKR player gone down here. It's Batchelor, and look at that. I think he might be knocked out here. The medics come rushing on. That didn't look good, did it?
You could see from his fall and the mechanism of his body whilst falling, he's working hard from the inside to try and make that tackle on the Salford player. And that is the good thing about our game. As soon as any player from either side recognises that, arms go up, everybody wants to stop the game and just take a look at it. Referees react to that.
Willie Peters will be getting some instructions
causing all your issues
on, and
thanks, Lachlan, appreciate it.
Didn't look good. The medics are out there doing their job. The crowd looking on. And you mentioned that, and this is one of the great things about our sport, and a great thing about the Magic Weekend. We've got fans from all over, from every team, and as soon as Batchelor is helped from the field, as we imagine is going to happen, there will be a lovely warm round of applause, and the players and the fans.
You don't have to lace the boots up to understand the jeopardy that these players put themselves in, the way that they put their bodies on the line, the way that in any game, any contact, any collision, any tackle, any carry can result in some form of damage. So everybody recognises that when that does happen, we just have to give people time, whether it's the medical staff or the player on the field, on the floor. The Hull KR players are in a hull there. Brett Delaney delivering some information. They've got a lovely balance, haven't they, between the coaching staff.
Well, here's the tries then. Parcell found Coop. Minchella goes in under the post, and Rovers maybe against the run of play in front, but then Brodie Croft made a lovely break inside his own 20. Aware of the support of Burgess, and he did the rest, racing over from halfway to level things up.
I think you could probably say that from both teams. When they've had an amount of field position, they haven't been able to do enough with it, and it's been both tries have been from distance, line breaks, with very little time to set things up. So the expressive way that they play the game is probably the best way for them to break each other down. Yeah, I was talking about Brett Delaney, who's looking after the defence at Hull KR with Danny Maguire, Willie Peters. They've got a lot of experience and a good make-up between the coaches.
Yeah, they have. So Batchelor being helped on the field. Let's cross over to Brian Carney.
Mark, thank you very much. Yes, escorted from the field very carefully with a great deal of attention. A Joe Burgess try, bringing Salford, as you say, back into the game. We spoke, John Wilkin, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, before the game about a frantic nature that Salford are comfortable playing in. They seem to have dragged Hull KR into that.
Yeah, we spoke about how to sort of get away from that. Well, Salford and how well they've moved the ball through Brodie Croft, through Callum Watkins as a threat, through Tim Laffey as a threat, have just created a sense of speed in the game, a frantic nature to the game, and that's, I think, suited Salford more than it has Hull KR. Look, 11 minutes of domination for Salford here at the start of the game. They had 4 chances but came up with no tries. At that point then, Hull KR, Jamie Jones, they had 1 chance, 1 minute of possession and a try through Minchella, and that just changed the dynamic.
There's a slight slope on this ground here at St James's Park, and Hull KR have been right at the bottom of it, almost at the deep end of a swimming pool, because Salford have played that well, started the game so well. Hull KR have had to scramble, have had to work hard for each other. We talked about those effort areas and they've saved a fair few tries, but you're right, John, they've jumped up, they've got a deep breath, and through some wonderful work through Batchelor and offload, they've been able to get a try. Back end of it, Minchella scores and has brought them back into the game.
Amongst those early opportunities for Salford that you referenced, was this from Callum Watkins? This effort ruled out by the referee for a double movement that we can't seem to find.
Nah, he's called held, Brian. He's called held, and he's not held. It's a mistake from Chris Kendall. That is a try. And look, Salford will be disappointed maybe that they didn't defend the Batchelor offload and the Minchella try. I just think that's an exceptional piece of skill. For me, I believe Callum Watkins is one of the best back rowers in the competition.
Paul Rowley thinks it's a try.
Well, it is a try, but the problem is Chris Kendall's already called held. He's been too hasty with the held call, and that means he has to give no try. But that was a mistake from the referee, Chris Kendall.
I mean, this fella here, Callum Watkins,
how good?
How good is it? What a world-class piece of effort there. The torsion, it's a bit of twist and get your arm free and get the ball down. It's a try all day long. I don't know where Chris Kendall's got the cue for it being a double movement or even held.
Just a word, gentlemen, on the mindset of a player when you see a teammate and an opponent indeed stricken on the field. You're concerned, no doubt, for him. There was immediate attention drawn to the referee for the stricken player on the field. Your thoughts going through these moments are what?
Might sound a bit ruthless, this, but you just trust in the medical team to do their job, and that everything will be looked after to that end. I think as professional players, you're focused on the next job, and for these guys, it's to stay warm, it's to be ready to inject themselves back into the game as and when the referee deems it fit to continue.
Yeah, and this, you know, Hull KR, this break in the game, it might just break up that frantic nature which has been suiting Salford so well. Hull KR have been very desperate defensively, but Jamie's right. You pay very little attention to the injury. You understand and trust in the how effective our medical staff are at dealing with things like this, and you have to ruthlessly narrow your mindset in on what your next involvement is, what the next tackle you'll make, next pass, next involvement in the game. And look, the game now sits in a really interesting spot because Salford, feeling so dominant, it's 6-all on the scoreboard. This break could suit Hull KR.
Yep, you defer to the medical expertise. And the experts are now giving all due care and attention to the injured Batchelor. Let's go down to John Wells, who is pitch side, with an update for us. John.
Yeah, cheers, Brian. Just been talking to a couple of the support staff on the Robins bench. Obviously, there's a great deal of concern, but the good news is awake and talking. I think that's the headline news we need to get out of the way. First and foremost, we know the protocol well now. We've seen it's a contact sport. This is an inevitable part of contact sport. The interesting thing for me, I've tried all and sundry. I've tried the Salford bench, the Salford players. I've tried the Hull KR bench, the Hull players. Nobody will talk to me. I wanted to talk to them about how you deal with unexpected stoppages in play. So what I will do is leave you with the good news that James Batchelor is A, receiving brilliant treatment, and 2, is conscious and talking, and then hand back up to the studio to ask that question, because I'm interested. Unexpected breaks in play, how do you keep mentally switched on, mentally focused, Brian?
Yeah, a question we asked about 30 seconds ago, John. If you switch on your ears, you might be able to listen. But he's right, though. No. Expert medical attention, and this is a difficult time for staying focused for the players.
It is, but it brings up a conversation and a talking point of what we're having in the game at the minute about tackle height. So there's a conversation in the game to reduce contacts with the head. It's about tackle height. Well, the injury we've just seen to James Batchelor is by a defender making a tackle low where hips and knees make contact with the head. I was concussed maybe 10, 12 times in my career. I would say 90% of those, Brian, were through contact with a hip with my head or a knee with my head. Rugby union's reduced the tackle height, and the concussive injury evidence suggests that's not helping. So there's inevitable contacts with the head. We've just got to make sure we understand where those contacts come from.
I think you're absolutely right, and it is a broader conversation that the game will continue to have. There is a wonderful reception for James Batchelor here from what is a very healthy crowd in game 1 of day 1 of the Magic Weekend. Hull KR, as they do, have travelled in huge numbers, and they'll be very supportive as one of their star players is taken from the field. Let's go back to our commentary team for the recommencement of game 1 as James Batchelor is taken from the field, receiving expert medical attention. Barry McDermott and Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Brian. So James Batchelor makes his way from the field, and everyone applauds him on his way. We hope to see him back out there in the not too distant future. The medics trusted to do their job, a job they do so well. And the good news, as John Wells told us, is he's awake and talking. So after that lengthy delay then, the action gets back underway, and here goes Briley now, gets it away to Laffey. Laffey with a dummy, he's brought down 10 away. The game just resets itself now, all level. Sneed gets it away, not the best pass. A shocker, if truth be told. And Salford come up with the error.
And unfortunately, that's what comes when you've had a distractive 10, whatever minutes, 8, 10 minutes. Just too far in front of Oliver Partington, sorry, not Oliver Holmes, Oliver Partington, who's integral to what Salford do now.
Head in, shot clock off, out!
He's been a good recruit, hasn't he, for the Red Devils?
He's been a good recruit, and he's changed the way that he's played his game. When he was a Wigan player, it was all aggression, all defence. Well, he's got some real subtle touches with the ball now that add great value to Salford in attack.
All coming short side here, Lewis gets it away. We're all wrapped up, short of the halfway line. Here now goes King back into the action. A welcome return as well for Rovers. With Parcell, Minchella, good defence, turns him away. Nice one then. Scruffy play of the ball. Lewis will get it, and Lewis is going to go high. Briley's going to have to collect this on his own line, gets off the ground, and they try and almost scoop him up and push him back, but he stays in the field of play. But Salford got some hard work to do here.
It's important some of those outside backs get in, relieve the pressure on the forwards, try and gain and gather some momentum. Dion Cross trying to do the same thing.
Hearing that Sam Stone has passed his head injury assessment, so he will be back on imminently. As now Sneed is going to look to kick it from inside his own 20. Inside his own 20, he needs to find touch, it bounced the wrong way.
That's a wonderful chase from Salford, which tells me everybody knew what Mark Sneed was doing. And the Salford players prepared to back that defence.
Chris off the ball.
Such a good player, Mark Sneyd. He was exceptional last week against Hull FC. His contributions
Ball on the ground
growing.
here, ball on the ground, and it's play on. Salford will have it back. Salford, oh, it's a play of the ball, and there was nobody there. Lewis, is he going to be penalised here? Not square.
He was offside at the play of the ball, but Mark Sneyd needs to probably impose himself a little bit more. It keeps coming to this right side with Brodie Croft. They're going to take 2 points here, as they like to, with a player as accurate and as reliable as Mark Sneyd. In recent years, Sneyd's almost turned into a Lee Breers type of conductor here. Here's the penalty. Mikey Lewis offside at the play of the ball. At the back end of his career, Lee Breers could play in the metaphorical dinner suit and just shout and point and push and prod everybody into the right position and just inject himself in the game when it's the right time. Mark Sneyd's got traits, similar traits.
Stay behind, lads. Stay behind.
Well, it's his 300th career appearance, and he's closing in on 1,000 career goals. This will be 998 if he makes it. That's quite relaxed about the job at hand here, 20 metres away.
That trusted left boot of his and the style that he used, where he, as he's back to the post, makes it unique.
Cheers, Nick.
There is the strike. The Sneyd chant goes round, and it's a lead for the first time this afternoon for the Salford Red Devils. They nudge 2 points clear.
Just nudges them psychologically into the plus column.
Sam, 10 metres, yeah, just that last set.
As we've said, it's a great atmosphere.
Just that last set. Yeah,
Starting to build now.
Stay behind, boys.
People from other teams starting to come in, starting to have a look. Everybody accepts that the Red Robin
Rufus
and the Red Devil, both sides, both teams can play a wonderful brand.
They do. One thing I've noticed about the Magic Weekend, when it first started, I think fans were quite keen to go out of the arena when their team wasn't playing. What I'm finding now is people are staying in longer. They're enjoying watching the rugby that's on offer.
I think Newcastle lends itself to that, doesn't it?
It does. Here is Briley. And let's be fair, there's plenty to do after the rugby's finished,
You're never too far away from a boozer in Newcastle, that's the truth.
Oh, offload again from Watkins. Finds Croft. Croft will get it away. Here now is Dupree. Takes it forward over halfway. So now Salford have got the lead. Can they extend it? Atkin gets it to Croft. Lovely pass to Watkins. Big gap. Oh, it's a forward pass. It's a shocker from Watkins. Seo there was eyeing up the try line. And that pass, well, it wasn't one of Callum's finest.
I'll tell you what Callum's trying to do. He's trying to keep his hips square so that the defender in front of him can't commit. It's Ryan Hall, who he will know inside out from their Rhinos days. Keeps his hips forward.
Just back up a step.
Keeps looking at the defender, doesn't look at Ken Seo, accepts and presumes he's going to be in the right place, and it's all wrong from Callum.
It was.
Idea was right, execution wrong.
Yeah, that word execution, Salford have had plenty of chances. There's been a mixture of some great goal line defence and a few unforced errors.
Well, we make it, there's 12 mistakes in this game so far. 7 from Salford and 5 from Hull KR, and just a 58% completion rate from the Red Devils, and less 50% for Hull KR.
Two teams genuinely in the mix for the playoffs and a potential grand final. Offload again late. He's picked up by Lewis. What can he do now? Lewis skips forward, offers a dummy, takes on Croft, but Croft makes the tackle around the bootlaces. 30 away. Parcell jumps out a dummy half. Then, he got folded over there. Oh, that was not nice. And hopefully he's okay.
Wait.
Wow, that Looked like it hurt, but he gets back up. Here's Lewis now, dragged by his collar, gets it away to Corey Hall. Corey Hall puts the kick in. This could be a problem. Needs to go dead. Rovers arriving, just couldn't get it down. Opacek was flying in late on the blind side, but he couldn't ground it.
Well, Chris Atkin took the biggest gamble of the day. He watched that ball as it trickled towards the back line, hoping that it was going to speed up.
Dean Adley, you're good now, 0.
There is Stone back into the action, and he makes a break, but he's run behind his own player, I think, here. Well, he thought he was away there, the back rower.
Sam Stone, who's just come back on the field after that head injury assessment. I'll talk about that left side with Lafay. Yeah, there's the obstruction. That's what Chris Kendall has seen. But that left side of Mark Sneed, Tim Lafay, Burgess, and of course the player we've been talking about, Sam Stone.
You saw there, he wasn't far away, Opacek, was he, from putting Rovers back in front? There's a ball carried now, 20 metres away.
For me, Chris. Wait, go on.
Ball now comes across the field, carried in strongly. Good run as well. 15 away now. Rovers. Luckily, his tackle, former Salford man. Here's Lewis, gets it away to Corey Hall. Hall looking to offload. CO wraps him up and throws him to the ground. Not too much ball down here, Hull Kingston Rovers. What can they do with it now? They're going to go to Minchella. He gets it away to Jez Litton. Litton sees the defenders rushing up outside him, has to take the tackle. He did the right thing there as well.
The kick was on. If Jez Litton was a born and bred half-back, a nice little dink through would have...
Well, here's King going for the line. He's over. Route 1 stuff. The defence opened up in front of him, and King just strolled through and dives over to put Hull Kingston Rovers back in front. And once again, Rovers making the most of limited territory, limited possession, and they're over the line.
Well, it's his first of 2023. The hard-working front rower comes back into the side after missing the last two. Had a wonderful World Cup with Ireland. A real leader wherever he plays. Nothing smart, nothing cute. Just an honest, hard-working player doing his job. You can see Salford defenders slipping, and it's the change of direction, it's the simplicity of that play that just catches out Salford. Lots of more complicated things set up outside, but it's a layoff to a big locomotive train.
I think he has been missed, hasn't he, the last couple of weeks? They've fallen to a couple of defeats, and George King, a welcome addition for Willie Peters. And you mention it, does the scruffy stuff, but the stuff that all good teams need doing if you're going to win games. And Coote again stood right in front. We'll look to add the extras as Rovers back in front just before the break here. Kick is good. 12 points to 8.
He's an honest, hard-working player, George King, and his real superpower is doing the ordinary, mundane things 9 and 10 out of 10 on a consistent basis. A big day for the King family. Toby in the game, in the fixture, playing for Wigan, following. Well, will Toby follow George King's example? We'll wait and see.
Right, let's get some reaction then and speak to the Salford Red Devils coach Paul Rowley. Paul, you've had a lot of the ball, but you've come up with a few too many errors in this first half.
Yeah, be easy to point the errors out, but I think it's more to do with some resilient defence from Hull. I think they've saved a few tries there, 3 or 4, so we'll give them credit rather than concentrate on the negative. But we've also scored a try that weren't allowed, which is disappointing, so I think we've had some tough calls, to be honest, which we usually do. We
understand that the referee called hell. We thought it was a try as well, and that's obviously your understanding of that.
Yeah, of course he did. But we heard that he thought his ball carrying arm had hit the floor, but yeah, it is spin and gone, so we'll concentrate on what's next. But the facts remain, we've had some poor calls.
And you just mentioned the positives. He said a couple of times on the edges, it looks like you've created chances. I guess your message to the guys will be to keep going to those edges.
Yeah, not necessarily, because I thought we got into a bit of an arm wrestle and started to creak in the middle a little bit, so we started putting some ball on the inside as well. I think it's a good arm wrestle, I think it's a good game up to now. But like I said, credit to Hull, they've been They've scrambled really well, that's what I'll say. They scrambled really well, so there's not a lot wrong with what we're doing, and same for OKR.
OK, Paul, cheers. Thanks for your time. Good luck for the rest of the game.
Cheers, thank you.
As Salford come forward now, up and over the 40-metre line.
Hold, go for.
We'll, of course, be getting some reaction from the Hull KR dressing room at half-time, and the man who'll be in there will be John Wells.
Yeah, just a quick update on James Batch. I've spoken to the Hull KR doctor. He is going to hospital. Precautionary scan on a neck injury, but precautionary only.
Cheers, John. That's good news. Looked at the time as though it could have been a little bit more serious than that, so we wish James a speedy recovery. Kenny Dowell almost had the ball ripped out of his grasp there.
Third, move! Oh, go free, Watkins.
Ball coming forward here, driven straight up the middle. Lynette it is who's wrapped up.
Go, Sidler, four.
As now Parcell jumps out of dummy half. And carried forward by Luckley. They're short of numbers, Salford, on the far side of the field. They're screaming, the ball's come out, and that's going to be a knock-on. That will help. That will help Salford. Luckley coming up with the error against his former club, and he'll be disappointed with that one.
As we know, we saw some of the images of him scoring a wonderful try down at the Gallagher end and celebrating Alan Shearer fashion. And as we know, it brings out the great and the good of rugby league. We're hearing that Derek Beaumont, the one and only Derek Beaumont, of course, here to support his Lee Leopard side tomorrow, will be joining the lads in studio.
George.
He will be. 90 seconds to go to the break. I'd be interested to hear what the guys in the studio make of Paul Rowley's comments there, because 57% completion rate. He's not going to be happy with that, is he?
No,
but might be happy with this, though, if they can get the ball away to Burgess.
I'll let you into a secret. What he tells you might not be what he tells them, Mark. It could well be the opposite. I had many a coach who did that.
Ball here now, coming across to this near side. Can they get back level at least before the break?
Cheers, Nick. Free.
Croft gets it away. Sidlow will carry it.
Held! Ruiz, go for.
Quick play of the ball. Atkin gets it away. Sneed now draws it away. Can they get the ball out wide? That was touched. It's going to be another set of 6 here. Rovers will kick the ball away, and that's not a bad ploy, that, because it's going to run a few more seconds off the clock, and there's only 30 to go to the break.
And I know Paul Rowley talked about route 1, getting ruck speed and going down the middle, but we keep seeing it from up here, that left side. Tim Lafayette, it's only a matter of time before he breaks the line or releases.
So they're going to get Burgess 23 seconds here at the end of the first half, Salford. This would, I think, lighten Paul Rowley's mood if they could get a try here. Can they come up with something from the scrum? Well, they're split 3 and 3 either side, so they'll come to this near side. Here's Croft, offers the dummy, slipped, and now a penalty. So I think with the limited time left, they're probably going to have to take the 2 here. This is only 10 seconds and counting left.
It's another slip, isn't it, from a defender. Mikey Lewis puts his hand up. Brodie Croft is in front of him, and we know the acceleration. We've already seen it once this afternoon when he made the break to set up the try for Joe Burgess. Of course, Mark Sneed's going to take the 2. Brodie Croft just steps off that right foot, and it's a flailing, loose arm from Mikey Lewis.
Paul Rowley saying, take the 2 to get back within 2. Sneed, who's kicked both his goals so far, and all being well, this should be the last act of the first half. A game that has maybe just lacked that little bit of clinical edge, I would say. That the intent is there, isn't it?
I'm not surprised.
The intent is there, but the final product not quite there at the moment.
We've got what we thought we'd get. 2 teams that are going to throw the ball around.
Yeah. Here's Sneed then to narrow the gap to 2. Looks up at the target. Here he comes now. Sends it through the middle. And that will be the last act of the first half. Mark Sneed kicks the goal. The players will go for some well-earned refreshments. It's half-time of game 1 of day 1 at the Magic Weekend. 2 teams in the playoff mix, and it's all to play for at the break. It's Salford Red Devils 10, Hull Kingston Rovers 12.
Mark Barry, thank you very much. We are up and running in St James's Park for the 16th edition of the Magic Weekend, and Salford may be puzzled as to how they trail at half-time against Hull KR. It's been a thoroughly entertaining first 40 minutes. We will look back on all of this in the company of John Wilkin and the Lee Leopards owner, Derek Beaumont, after this. Well, Magic Weekend 2023 opened up with 10 minutes of coulda, woulda, shoulda for Salford, John Wilkin.
Oh, they had 4 or 5 chances. This was the last of them with Callum Watkins, and Salford were robbed here. Brian, that's a try. Chris Kendall called held. Callum Watkins knows it. And one chance they'd created. One chance led to 1 try, and Minchella, and fantastic support all through the middle of the field. Lachlan Coo to Minchella, and that just came against the run of play. Salford had the run of the game, looked dangerous every time they moved the ball, and this man, Brodie Croft, he's just magic. Everything he does, I love. And when he has the ball, things happen. Well, he created something here for Joe Burgess, and you just felt that maybe Salford had settled down at that point into the game.
Well, that Burgess try converted by Sneed, and then we had that James Batchelor injury, that unfortunate injury that saw the game stop for 9 minutes. Not long after that, Salford were awarded a penalty. Sneed kicked it to give them a 8-6 lead on the half-hour mark before Hull KR hit back.
Yeah, and I think if you're Paul Rowley, what message would you send to your team? Well, look, we can attack, but we've got to defend our line, and this is just way too easy. Sam Stone slips, George King falls over the line, and that's too easy. Hull KR have had 2 chances and scored 2 tries, and remarkably, Brian, going at half-time in the lead, I think both sides will want to just hold the ball, and the side that holds the ball in the second half might be the side that goes on and wins.
Well, that converted George King try did give them a 12-8 lead. It was reduced to 12-10 after Mark Sneed kicked that very late penalty in the first 40 minutes. But it is Hull KR and Willie Peters who hold the advantage at half-time, and I'm delighted to welcome into studio here at St James's Park a man who has spent his time smiling through season 2023. Owner of the newly promoted Lee Leopards, who currently sit in the playoff places, Derek Beaumont. Welcome along. We will talk about Lee shortly. First, your thoughts on that opening 40 minutes of Magic Weekend 2023?
Well, I think it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I think there's a great crowd here to start off. We've got the sun shining, sky cameras rolling, beers flowing outside, shirts everywhere, branding everywhere, leopard print loads.
Yeah, I noticed a little bit of that. It's subtle.
Yeah, well, I know, you know me, mate. Everything's toned down in it. But I think the rugby, I think it's entertaining. I think you've got 2 great sides that promote the ball, 2 coaches that want to play. Interesting there, you mentioned Sam Stone, a player that was with us, and a little just evolved towards the back end of the game. He got pulled on I think an obstruction play, which I wasn't sure on that call, if I'm honest. And he looks like he's through, and then a minute later, that's how cruel the game can be. He slipped there and try against him, but it's all to play for.
Well, Paul Rowley in his interview there with Mark has bemoaned a couple of the decisions that have gone against them. We like to work hard here on Sky Sports. We don't often ask people to put their feet up. I might make an exception here for the first time on live TV. Put your foot up on the desk there. That is how far the dedication to the Lee Leopards print goes from this man.
It would only be better if they were Cuban heels, Brian.
I pulled me quad, boys.
We saw John Wells in our promo prepare for Magic Weekend with getting the budgie smugglers. We won't go any further on that one. Listen, let's talk about Lee Leopards' season so far.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, newly promoted Lee, many had them down as being in a relegation battle, perhaps with the likes of Salford, certainly Wakefield, who are down near the bottom of the table. You were having none of that. You said you recruited a side to push towards the playoffs. Many scoffed.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, the rugby does the talking, doesn't it? At the end of the day, it's easy to look at things that, personally, I didn't think Salford and OKR would be where they are either, so I got that wrong, you know. So none of us know everything, none of us are perfect, but I think the lads and what Lammy's doing is brilliant, and the way he's doing it, the way they're doing it with fun and quality. You know, there's some great players in there, you know. I wouldn't want to name any single one because they're all great, and it's a team effort, and it's what they're doing collectively.
Okay, what can we expect tomorrow? You open up day 2 with a game against Wakefield. with a side who are running red hot at the moment. A massive win against Warrington, the table toppers last week.
Yeah, I think it's the manner that we're winning as well, and you know the way that we're defending, and we're not really conceding many points. And even when we was losing games at the beginning of the season, we didn't really concede many points, and we wasn't scoring. We found a way to fluidly score now. So, you know, Wakefield, everybody's seeing that game as a gimme, but let me tell you now, Lammy and our team are not seeing it as a gimme at all. I like the way Wakefield are fighting. I like the fact they're bringing Fafita in and they're having a go, and that's been where they've been, and they shouldn't be criticised for that. They should be championed for not giving in and having a dig, and I'm pretty certain they will have a good go at us tomorrow, so we're taking nothing for granted.
Yeah, Derek's the side have been doing it with real style, Brian, and that's ironic when we look at what Derek's wearing here, because that is the epitome of no style. The epitome of no style.
It's 100% now.
It's all in.
My 13-year-old
best of mates. Didn't you have a beef a couple of years ago, you two? Is that all settled?
No, hey,
it's entertainment. It's entertainment.
We was going to have a charity boxing match, and then we said,
do us all a favour, Derek.
John backed out.
Do us all a favour, Derek.
He said he'll wear this tracksuit instead. He'd rather do that than, you know. But interestingly, my 13-year-old said, "I'm not going out with you today, Dad, if you're wearing that. I'm not walking around Newcastle looking like that." And then all of a sudden he's invested. He's all right. So it's all for the fun, eh?
Good, Derek, thank you very much and congratulations. I'm thinking about Brian Carney Senior wearing something like that. Okay, it's a very special day. We've got PDRL action on the field as well here at St James's Park. It's Salford against Wigan, and have a look at this for a score. Rapturous applause here in the in the stadium here, and eventually the try awarded. Let's take you into the change rooms here at St James's Park. Firstly, into Salford's change room, being addressed by Paul Rowley at the moment. He, of course, was bemoaning some of the decisions that went against his side, but they are very much in this contest. Hull KR have a half-time lead and have in their change rooms John Wells, who has been granted privileged access there, studiously taking notes as Willie Peters, Danny Maguire, David Hodgson and the rest of the coaching staff address their players. We will hear what John and Willie had to say after our half-time break here. At half-time in the opening game of day one of the 2023 Magic Weekend, it's Hull KR with a 12-10 half-time lead. We've got the second 40 on the way after this.
Cheers, John. Brilliant access there. Credit to Willie Peters for taking the time to talk so openly and allow Wellesley in, and that is real insight, isn't it?
I'm just glad that Wellesley's actually found somebody to talk to him, because he couldn't get anybody before. The information and the insight that we're allowed is second to none, and I'm sure it must be the envy of every other sport, and the generous people who run the game, who are in charge of the teams and the players themselves. The more of that we can get, the better.
Yeah.
Well done, boys.
Yeah. As regular viewers will know, of course, on the Women's Super League, we were allowed access and heard some of Matty Smith's team talk to his St Helens side, so we are getting unprecedented levels of access now, and it is great, and we do appreciate it. So, both coaches will expect a little bit more from their side. Hull Kingston Rovers, Willie Peters said that first half performance not good enough. They need to win more moments than Salford. They lead by 12 points to 10. Are they going to get it? A sixth successive win over Salford. Will Salford come back and take the spoils in game one at the Magic Weekend? All brought forward here. Norman Royd into the action.
Matt Parcell! Wait, go on.
That King gets the ball away. The noise around this stadium, the chatter building, the crowd building as well. The sun shining. What a place to be. You sat at home having a watch, you can still get a ticket for tomorrow if you fancy it. If not, we'll have all three games for you live here.
And our game is unique in that respect. We've got players, we've got fans all mingling, merging together this morning. I bumped into a gang of Wigan fans who were actually celebrating, or not celebrating, but celebrating the fact that they're in Newcastle with 5 or 6 Catalan players.
Yeah, wow, good stuff. Last one here for Salford, who struggle for any go forward here. They're going to kick high. This is going to land inside the half. It's bouncing all over the shot, but it's picked up here by Salford. They kick ahead. Can they get on the end of it? They will. Can they find a pass? They do. Burgess going for the corner. Burgess has dropped it. Wow, that would have been a sensational try. The midfield bomb after Salford couldn't get out of their own half. It bounced kindly, and Burgess just couldn't quite sneak over in the corner.
Well, what did he say? Never let a rugby league ball bounce. It bounces away from the experienced Lachlan Coote. And Salford, well, they do the double best. Tim Laffey ends up being in front of Joe Burgess, trying to get out of his way. And when Joe Burgess collects a couple of defenders, just can't manage to find his centre. Another missed opportunity, Mark.
Well, they say never let it bounce. I don't think Lachlan Coote wanted to let it bounce. He just couldn't get to it, could he? Wow. Almost a sensational start to the second half. Now Salford look to try and keep Rovers in their own end of the field. There's a ball carried forward strongly there by Hall. Wrestling with Orman Royd. Marcel jumps out of dummy half, slips, bounces back up. Still managed to make another couple of metres as well. Rovers with Litton, who's looking to kick into open space, and that's a good kick towards the corner. Needs it to stay in the field of play. It's good to do. Ball offloaded. Briley will look to try and return it, but he's tackled, and good set in response from Hulkingston Rovers.
Good effort, wasn't it? Corey Hall virtually on his own on that kick chase there. Forced Salford to make that risky play. I thought it was interesting. When we spoke to Willie Peters, he said his side need to win bigger moments. When we spoke to Paul Rowley, his side were about capitalising on those opportunities. They love and live in the chaos, Salford. Hull KR are probably in a place they don't want to be.
Laffey offloads it. They're going to work the short side. Burgess did well to hang on to that. Now he tries to bump off Sean Kenny-Dowell, and no room there. And Salford caught on this sideline. Can they clear out of their own end of the field? They'll go to Laffey.
He was looking for an offload then.
He's always looking for an offload. As the ball now works its way across Partington. They're going to kick high. Croft with a head bandaged. Goes high. Coote will collect it. Coote will bring it forward. And he's going to be wrapped up just inside his 40. Let's get down to pitch side then with John Wells.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Just a quick update on Sam Stone, Salford Red Devils. You will remember that he passed his HIA in that first half assessment. The Salford medical staff have taken another look at him at half-time, and they, well, according to medical staff, have now ruled him out for the game. So, look, disappointment for Salford and for Sam, but good news that the protocols are working.
Cheers, John. There's an offload there. Here for Rovers, Minchella couldn't get the arm free. Lewis was pushing up in support. Set restart here for Rovers, so a chance now to extend that lead as King carries it forward.
Hold here, go on.
And the ball now works its way across, offloaded here to Lynette. Lynette wrestling, but tackled. Salford's defence good at the moment. Can they see off this latest Rovers attack as Litton takes it to the line, and he was tackled high there. Although, to be fair to Jez Litton, he doesn't make anything of it. He stands in the tackle.
Jack Orman-Royd, who's coming in, putting inside pressure on the ball carrier. Jez Litton, he's a pretty tough player.
Wait.
And that's the penalty. More possession for Hull KR. This is a big opportunity for them.
It is 10 away. Rovers with Parcell. Dummy left, comes right, gets it away. Litton will move it along the line. Here's Minchella, just decides need to just settle things down here. Right in front of the post. Options either way for Parcell. Looking now, goes short. Trying to wrestle their way over the line. But a couple of metres out. Rovers leading by 2. Parcell finds Lewis. Lewis ball back on the angle. Good tackle there. Good shot goes in from Watkins. There's the ball now back into centre field. Again, just driven in. Minchella trying to brute force his way towards the line. Last one.
Holding him in.
Which way are they going to go? Lewis is down the short side. But they're coming now to the near side, and here's Litton, gets it away. Coop now into the line, gets it away. Opacek trying to force his way through. And Salford, credit to them, their goal line defence stood rock solid there.
Yeah, they had to be good, didn't they? They had to be good. It was one of the highlights of the first half. Tim Laffey, Tom Opacek, over on the nearest side to us. There's another penalty. High tackle.
Come on, George. Get it
It's George King on that occasion. A little bit loose from both sets of players now. Target area so important when you're running at speed. It's a little bit of footwork that undoes the hard work and the line speed of George King.
Sneed with a touch finder. Gets them up to the 30-metre line.
Yeah, I will do, mate. Go.
2-point ball game and a valuable 2 points on the league ladder as well.
Don't go early, Dean.
These two teams on equal points, also not on equal points, but equal wins and losses. Both share the same record of 8 wins and 5 losses. There's nothing in them, it's the styles that separate them. And at the minute, the style that they're playing is the style that Salford enjoy playing.
Yeah. And with Wigan against Catalans to come, they know that one of the teams above them is going to drop some points today. So a big chance as Watkins now moves the ball out wide, always a threat, Watkins. Ball now comes back in for Croft, fires the pass to Sneed. Sneed goes short to Ormonroyd. Ormonroyd looking to promote the ball, is racked up. Salford back inside Rovers territory here with Sneed. He's got a pass back on the inside, he finds it. Good covering defence there. Salford just starting to link up a few passes here. Now they'll get it with Sneed. He's going to stand up the kick. He's looking for Burgess, who's threatening Sean Kenny-Dowell. Ball's there to be fought for. It's kicked on by Laffey, will touch it down. There's no big celebration, but this is going to go upstairs. Now, how did that ball come free? Chris Kendall is saying no try on the field. Let's take a look.
Tackle 5, no tries from a kick. Check onside, offside, please. We've got Ben Helliwell, and I think it's Partington in the middle offside, but Burgess is okay. We can run this through, please. Just track where Ben Helliwell ends up. He's outside 10. Something close in on the catch, please. That comes off, appears to come off Joe Burgess. Just something from a bit wider to see the direction, please. The on-field calls no try. Soft Burgess originally. In terms of direction, have we got anything wide? Thank you. I've seen all the angles I need. No try.
Wow.
Yeah, no try.
Wow.
The decision. Dean that maybe Burgess pulled the ball forward.
Joe Burgess catches that ball. Sean Kenny-Dowell rips it out of his hands. The ball goes up. Well, I think that's the second one that's been disallowed.
Well, look at Paul Rowley.
He agrees with me. Burgess catches the ball. The ball is stripped. Whether it goes forward or backwards, it's stripped from Sean Kenny-Dowell. And then that's play on.
Well, you instantly said to me you thought that was a try. Paul Rowley clearly agrees. Another decision goes against Salford.
You can see he gets up high. He has hold of the ball, and it's taken out of his grasp from Sean Kenny-Dowell.
The Rovers have got it, and they're looking to work the centre of the field now. Tackle made by Partington. Well, it might be a decision like that that determines the outcome of the game. It's so finely poised here as Parcell is starting to get busy now. He's wrapped up. Litton is in there. He's just going to chip over the top towards the corner. Bradley's going to collect it. He's penned in the corner. Oh, they went swinging there. And that's going to be a penalty. And it's another cheap penalty given away by Hull Kingston Rovers. Bradley certainly let it be known that he thought he'd been hit high. Let's have a look at it.
Well, again, I think that's the third occasion the same player has made the same tackle. He might get something a bit more serious here, Mikey Lewis.
Yeah, no.
Well, Briley will be relieved. That was a glancing blow.
He's going to warn him, but I think that's 3. He's called the captain in to speak to Mikey Lewis. You can see his arms outstretched. He's probably got 2 feet off the floor, if not one of them.
Very similar fashion. You've got to get lower, or you're going to be on the sideline. The penalty. No, that's it, mate.
It is a penalty.
Yeah.
And that will allow Salford out of their own 20-metre area.
I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, let's stop the game, let's have a word with a very talented player and just tell him to get his game in order. But it's probably more his technique, it's more his enthusiasm, his drive to get there and make the tackle. Just needs to get his technique right.
Hold.
Salford have got the ball back. Amir Baruch onto the field.
2. Moves 2. Don't go early, Matt. Matt. Go 2. Stick to this side. Play on, Matt.
Now Watkins gets it away. Out to that far side.
3rd. Move Ryan. Don't go early. Go 3.
And Salford engineer an opening here. Croft to Partington. He's wrapped up. It's over the halfway line.
Let's go 4.
Here they go again. Croft finds Sneed. He's going to poke the kick through. Burgess is after this one. Coote was brave, gets there and gets crucially onto the ground before he went into touch. Neat kick. And again, you could see that Burgess was on the same page as Sneed there. He knew what was coming.
Yeah, kick on 4. Both players connected, communicated, and they know what they want to do. They want to put the pressure back on Hull KR, make them work hard away from their own territory.
Oh, now an error. Sean Kenny-Dowell getting up to play the ball has dropped it. And now Salford, you just feel here, are starting to enjoy more territory.
Yeah.
Can they turn it into some points?
Well, the players, there are players in the ruck. There are hands all over Sean Kenny-Dowell. It's amazing, isn't it, when our team have a call go against them, whether it's a try, no try, suddenly then the 50-50 calls start to go their way too.
Head in. Don't break early. Head in.
40 metres out. Croft skips across. Can he find an offload to Cross? He does. Cross is tackled. Inside the 20 though.
Go on.
Salford pressing. They've had a couple disallowed today. Can they get one that counts? Well, that's a great carry to get them within 10.
Go 2.
We'll play it now.
2.
Where he gets the ball away. Taken in. 5 away.
Held! Ruiz! 3. Wait, go 3.
Play the ball now. Gets it to Sneed. Sneed in action, finds Croft. Croft, short pass. Can they break the line? No, they can't. Good defence from Hull Kingston Rovers.
Go 4.
Burrow back in there, gets it away. Sneed steps away from 1. Sneed, though, wrapped up, nowhere to go. Last one here. Who's going to take over the kicking duties? They're going to go to Croft on that right-hand side. They are. Here is Croft now. They rush out on him. He needs to find an offload, and he can't. A disappointing end to the set for Salford. But again, Rovers' goal line defence holds firm.
You called it, Mark. He got tackled with the ball, Mark Sneed. Who's going to take charge of that last tackle option? Ryan Briley was out the back. Ultimately, it went to Brodie Croft, who hadn't got enough set up.
Ben, wait.
Hadn't got enough going on around him, so he was easily picked off.
You're good now. 1.
Ball working its way forward with Ryan Hall.
2.
Bumping off tacklers.
Go 2. Stay on 2.
And now here come Rovers now on a bit of a... the legs were up in the air, but the referee happy to let that go on.
His hips don't go above.
Sidlow it was with a strong challenge. Ball centre field. The game is just on a knife edge at the moment. He needs someone to go out and win it. Ball now across the field. They're going to kick in behind here. Kenny-Dowell is after him. What's the bounce like? It favours Briley and goes into touch. He was right on the spot, Ryan Briley, but he desperately didn't want to play at that ball, and it rolls over the sideline.
Nerves of steel from the fullback. Watching that ball over, it's a beautifully weighted kick into the path of Sean Kenny-Dowell. There's a bit of a body check there.
Which one? Yeah, no, he hasn't, mate.
Nothing wrong with it.
Don't talk, sir.
Ball possession.
Okay.
will go to Salford Red Devils. Long busting period of the game now as we 55 minutes or so.
Move, Matt! Wait, go on.
Inside their own 20, that's a great carry. Just what they needed.
Move, man!
Gets them up and a quick play of the ball. And Borough jumps out at dummy half now. He's on over the 40. Two great runs there for Salford.
Wait, go free.
Here now is Sneed, short pass. Trying to get over the top of the Rovers defence, but Litton holds firm. Riley looking for the ball out the back. He'll get it now. Into the line he goes, finds cross through the gap. Big chance here. Must be a try. The referee's going to pull it back. He's pulled it back. Roddy Croft is not happy with this. You can't imagine Paul Rowley will be too pleased either.
Oh, they've had a couple of more. Talk about being on the right side of those key moments. There's a body check here in back play. You can see the Hull KR player on the ground, and that's where Chris Kendall has found that there's an illegal obstruction type of penalty awarded to Hull KR.
Go.
Wow, tight decision. Oh, an error. Well, Salford, they won't be happy that they've had yet another try choked off, which would have been a try surely. But now they get cheap possession.
Loads of times left. There's only 2 points difference on the scoreboard. Let's have a look at this here. Staunton goes through. As he's trying to get through the line, there's a body check.
It's just a knock-on, isn't it, from Sue there. On for his second spell. This is the one that you're talking about, Barry.
Yeah.
Come on. Bind now. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, there's a collision.
Okay. Shot clock off, ball in.
And obviously the referee's closer than us. He's seen something he doesn't like.
And now Briley looks to get it away. Croft dummies, skips forward.
One. Move! Hold here.
Tackle just short of the halfway line.
6 again, too slow. 6 again, Matt.
Salford made some big changes on the sideline. They've rotated Adam Sidlow and Jack Ormonroyd and brought 2 big players on.
Here now is Sneed, finds Briley, they're going that way again. This time Rovers hold firm on that edge as cross comes in. Plays it inside the 40. Ball now to Sneed. Sneed takes it to the line, finds Croft. Croft out the back. Here now is Laffey. Laffey trying to bump off Opacek, gets the ball away, and he's thrown it over the sideline. Salford at the moment just can't quite get this job done.
You say that, but we know, we're stood up here, we know Tim Laffey is going to offload that ball all day, all night, twice on Sunday. What's Joe Burgess thinking?
I know, but if you get through the
he
line,
should be thinking, expect the offload.
Has he not just passed it behind him?
It's that side.
But he should be thinking, expect the offload.
I think he was, Barry. Just a yard further forward.
Tyler, don't go early, mate.
What do you think Paul Rowley's mindset is now? Joking aside, they've had a few tries disallowed. They're creating opportunities, but they're not putting points on the board. Is it just keep going, keep doing what you do?
That's exactly what he encourages his side to do. Even when we spoke to him, he didn't want to focus on the negative. He didn't want to focus on the things that are going wrong. He'll take great heart from mistakes at the play of the ball that Hull KR keep handing over. But what he wants his side to do is keep throwing the ball. Do it better, do it more often.
Incorrect play of the ball then. So that will give Salford more territory here. 1 point yet in this second half. Busy day to come. Wigan and Catalans both in the top 4 going into the weekend. They meet next here at the Magic Weekend as Watkins' pass is batted down.
0. It goes 0.
Another set, there it is. Next on Sky Sports Arena and Sky Sports main event, Wigan against the Catalans Dragons. And we round off the day with Castleford against Leeds. Sky Sports Arena and Sky Sports main event. And now a penalty here, and this could be a moment of history in the career of Mark Sneed. He's attempting here to kick his 1,000th career goal because they've earned a penalty. And the ball ripped out of the grasp. So this to level things up then.
Tyler Dupree, one of the two players reintroduced by Paul Rowley. He wants some go forward, he wants some momentum along the play of the ball. We've got two cracking games coming up, haven't we? Day one, Wigan, Catalan, Leeds, Castleford. I've seen so many Leeds fans, so many Castleford fans in here for the two games before that. And that special shirt that Leeds Rhinos have produced in dedication and honour of Doddy Weir, we can see them everywhere. I'm looking forward to talking to some of Doddy Weir's sons. Cam Smith, my mullet's better than yours. Well done.
Yeah. Can he have the shirt? Interesting tactics. Right, 1,000th career goal incoming for Mark Sneyd. But more importantly on the day, to level things up. Here he comes, left-footed, sends it towards the post. The flags go up. And another landmark moment on his 300th career appearance for Mark Sneyd. His 1,000th career goal. And we're all level at 12-12 with a quarter of this game remaining. Well, Rovers went to Golden Point last week. Are they going to go there again today?
Well, it's all looked up, isn't it? The last couple of games we've watched on Sky Sports, Leeds versus Saints, Hull KR versus Wigan, all going to Golden Point, locked up, tight as a drum. I don't think for 1 minute as we go into the final quarter we'll get Golden Point, but I have been wrong on Magic Weekend before.
Move! 10 metres.
We're talking a lot about Paul Rowley. I don't imagine Willie Peters will be too happy with this second half either. 61% completion rate for them, but 12 handling errors. Short pass from Partington.
You're right, Mark, but his side has played twice, played well and come away with no points. Obviously, teams are focused on, or coaches are focused on getting a good performance as we see a penalty.
Well, Sneyd was hit late, was he? And the referee's going to give another penalty here.
OKR taking Mark Sneyd out.
No, it's high.
Chris Kendall. Let's have a look at this.
Well, it's Dean Hadley, isn't it?
Yeah. High and late. So Mark Sneyd, he's up on his feet, thankfully, and he's about to set off for the next 1,000. He's going to get a shot from a similar kind of position here. Chris Kendall's going to have a word with Sean Kenny-Dowell again.
The ball's gone, it's secondary contact with the head. 10 minutes in the bum.
And Dean Hadley is sent to the sin bin.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. He's a hard-working player, Dean Hadley, who's the cornerstone of the team, playing in the front row these days, where he gets out as he does and does all his career to put pressure on the kicker, but you just can't hit that high on a player who's kicked and in many ways defenceless.
Sorry, Jack.
So Mark Sneyd here has got a chance to put Salford back in front, and crucially they've got a player advantage for the next 10 minutes here. Rowley looks on. Willie Peters getting some messages down to his team.
Ben, keep working out on the 10, yeah? Keep working out on the 10.
So can Mark Sneyd add the extras here and make it a 2-point lead? Here it comes now. And the Sneyd chant goes up because he kicks the goal. 5 from 5 for him. And have we seen a crucial moment in the opening game at the Magic Weekend? The Salford fans are happy now. They lead by 2.
Well, defensively, Hull KR have scrambled, fought tooth and nail to keep in this game. Danny Maguire, Willie Peters getting some messages on instruction down to the sideline so that the players can understand and just get a context of where they are in this game.
Well, Mentioning updates, let's get an update from pitch side. John Wells.
Yeah, Mark, just a quick one. Straight change in the centres for Hull KR. Corey Hall has left the field, not feeling 100%. Sam Wood, direct replacement for him in the centres. They're doing it tough at the moment, Robbins, and they're doing the next 10 minutes with 12 men.
Cheers, John.
Hold here.
So, lost James Batchelor, if you've just joined us in the first half with that worrying head injury. He's okay, he's gone for a scan, we understand. As the ball now moves to Laffey, they wrap him up just short of the halfway line. So how will the Robins cope being a player down here? They're looking to spin it here, Salford, and they've got to that edge. Watkins now looking to get round Lewis, who does well in the end just to grab a handful of shirt and bring his man down on the 5th tackle. Croft is going to go high. He's going to invite Cross to chase it. Coote comes across. Coote will catch him, gets taken. And that's a penalty for Hull Kingston Rovers now.
It's Dion Cross. Once Lachlan Coote catches that ball, they're just going to take some time to have a look at Lachlan Coote, who's had his problems with his concussions. Head contact. He's down on the floor. And Hull KR, they've already rotated, haven't they? They've already brought Corey Hall off, Sam Wood on, who will have some good memories of the fixture of round 2. I think he scored a couple of tries in that game, had a massive involvement.
That's taken into consideration.
Yeah, this is a worrying moment. Already had one serious head injury today, and Lachlan Coote, as you mentioned, has had problems in the past, so they'll want to take plenty of care here. Let's get down to pitch side again. John Wells has got more news.
Yeah, we were just telling you a couple of minutes ago how Corey Hall had left the field, not feeling 100%. Sam Wood in to replace him. A lot of kerfuffle on the Hull KR bench. Looked like Corey Hall had put his hand up ready to come back onto the field. But as we're looking on and we're seeing Lachlan Coote regain his feet, I think the Hull KR bench were quite relieved that's been the case.
Cheers, John. Well, he didn't miss, did he? There. I think Cross was saying that Coote was falling to the ground, but
look, if Dean Hadley's got to go for a little sit down for 10 minutes, you feel certain that Dion Cross has got the same coming his way.
Well, here you go. He's having a word with him now.
Listen, yeah, and I understand he has dropped significantly, but there's a lot of force in the tackle. It's going to be 10 minutes in the game.
And it is a yellow card, so it is
10 minutes.
12 against 12.
It's incredibly difficult for any defender. Just like Dean Hadley can't account for what Mark Sneyd is going to do, Dion Cross can't account for the way that Lachlan Coote goes down to the floor. But the rules that we play under nowadays, you've got to take into account, you've got to be responsible as a defender on where you hit the man that you tackle him.
Well, they've lost Lachlan Coote. There he is on the sideline. We hope that he is okay. His afternoon all but over. And Corey Hall, who went off, is now back on.
Don't go early, I'm here. Wait.
12 against 12 then. As forward come Rovers. They've got 15 minutes and a little bit of change to turn this one around. Just 2 points in arrears. Here goes Minchella now. They race out of the line to get Lewis. Good defence from Croft. Helliwell in there to finish the job off.
Wait. What we get, stop milking, go free.
That's free. Not been down this end too much. What can they do? Oh, blockbusting tackle goes in there. Vuniaya
chopping him
in with a shot. Didn't miss.
Looks like Corey Hall has filled in at fullback now. He's frantically running, looping, sweeping from side to side.
Clear.
Here's Lynette now. Lynette going for the corner, flicks it away! Try Hull Kingston Rovers! Ryan Hall in at the corner, or is he? Chris Kendall wants to check this. That was a lovely pass out wide. And Ryan Hall
checking round in.
Let's find out. Did he get this one down?
Tackle 5, try. Can we check touchline and grounding, please? Hall is in possession at this point. Just go slow on this first angle, please. Hall leaves from the field. Still in the field. Plays grounded. Just watch that first angle again, please. Thank you.
Cheers, Jack. Well done, Michelle. Thanks, mate.
So Ryan Hall then with a record 11th Magic Weekend try, and it will put Hull Kingston Rovers back in front.
What a player Ryan Hall is. And listen, let's be right, Kane Lynette with that left-handed offload gives him half an inch, that's all he's got, just half a metre to squeeze in, put the ball down, puts it in his right hand. If he puts it in his left, he's pushed out, he's over the sideline, it's no try. Remember this player making his debut 2007 Magic Weekend in that infamous match against Bradford, and all these years later, here he is providing 4 vital points to his side. What a player, what a pro, deserves everything he gets, and a real inspiration for some of those players over 30s. When players like him, top try scorer, he's 9 so far for 2023, just a little bit behind Josh Charnley, who's in the lead. But when players like him get doubts, and it's still 4-0-6, and people start to question his quality, his capability at this level. When he came back from Australia, there weren't a lot of clubs queuing up to sign him. A bit of an injury cloud as he came back into the country, but he's proved everybody wrong, proved himself right, and for me has been being one of the best wingers that Super League has ever seen.
Well, Kingston Rovers have scored 3 tries to 1, but are still only 2 points in front. Will that kick hitting the upright have a say in the outcome here, as Rovers look to bring it forward again? What a pass, what a finish that was for Rovers. And they've not had much ball. They've got another injury, though, in back play here. It's Suaso Su, I think it is, who's hobbling in back play. This is a big problem for Rovers. He can barely make it off the field, so Litton will kick in behind. Breyer will sprint across. It'll stay in the field of play. He's going to have to pick this one up and bring it back. And another costly injury potentially, Barry, for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Well, you spotted it. He can't make his way off the field. Brett Delaney, he's pleading with the 4th official. He wants to get Sam Luckley on the field, but until the first player leaves, the second player can't go on.
That's fine. Past it, 2.
It's a gritty, isn't it? A gritty performance from Hull KR as we're going in to the last 12 minutes or so.
There is Su making his way off.
Tom, play on!
There's a ball now working its down this short side.
4, boom! Don't go early, don't go early.
Ball now with Sneed, gets it away to Croft. Out the back, Briley into the line. Briley with a pace to go through. He's got support, he might not need it. He gets a pass away. Sensational from Salford. And they are back in front. Ken Seo with a try. Ryan Briley with a break. The former Rovers man slices through. And Salford are back in front.
Well, Salford Red Devils haven't got that right all day. They've been looking to go down the middle. They've been just testing the edges. Well, this instruction goes down from the coach, Ken Seo. Unbelievable player. And Salford Red Devils, well, they haven't been great with the ball. They haven't executed with the finesse and the class that we're used to. But how many times have we seen this play? How many times have we watched it and they haven't got it right? You can see the defenders there, Mikey Lewis being one of them, just bite in on the player that doesn't get the ball. And Salford Red Devils, well, they go in front on the scoreboard, kick to come. This game has seesawed between both sets of teams. And you feel, don't you, that all that confusion in the back line, players swapping roles, who's playing centre, who's playing fullback. It's just meant that communication has broken down to the point where nobody knows what they're doing there.
Beautiful break and a great pass as well, and Ken Seal will always finish those off, much to the delight of his teammates. And he goes in just to the side of the post. Ken Seal, 6th of the season. He scored in the loss to Hull KR earlier in the season. He had a prolific year last year when he broke the Salford Super League try-scoring record. Here is Mark Sneed looking to keep that 100% record going, and he will make no mistake. Going into the final 10 minutes then here, as Salford lead by 4.
Well, this is a 4-point ball game. You wouldn't put any money on either side at this point. Nobody's sure who's going to come up with the goods, but they've tried that consistently, haven't they? As I said, I think Mikey Lewis probably given 2 or 3 different options in front of him defensively, made the wrong one. Great stuff from Salford Red Devils. We've got a wonderful 10 minutes.
We have indeed, and it's now time to vote for your player of the match. You can vote via the Our League app. The selections: Callum Watkins, Brodie Croft, Elliot Minchella and Matt Parcell. Head over to the Our League app. You have the say on who will be our player of the match today. So much going on in terms of injuries. Let's get down to pitch side. John Wells has got some more information.
Yeah, busy game 1 at pitch side. No coup, HIA. Suaso Su, that is a hamstring injury. Unlikely that he'll play any further part in the game. And of course, James Batchelor off with a neck injury and off to hospital earlier today. So KR are going to have to do the last 10 minutes, Mark, with 1 available interchange.
Cheers, John. Earning his money today, John Wells. And Sneed will just poke the kick over the top. Ball collected by Corey Hall. Hall now will cut back in field. He's wrapped up. So Rovers, who nudged back in front, now find themselves behind and time running away.
2.
And as you mentioned previously, three tries to 2, haven't they?
He was good though.
What a lot of teams would give for a player of Mark Sneed's quality and accuracy off the boot and off the tee.
Dean Hadley is back out there now, so Rovers will have a player advantage for a couple of minutes here. Can they make it count?
Go, play on, play on, play on.
Ball now works its way forward. They're trying to break up the middle. They're still going. Parcell now needs some support. Lewis trying to get there, and Parcell in the end tripped himself over. Last one. Salford's line busted here. Ball, did that go forward? It's going to be play on. It did go forward. Error from Rovers. And Corey Hall can't believe it.
Yeah, last tackle turnover.
Well, what a break from Matt Parcell.
Yeah, it's a forward pass.
And I think there's an arm from Salford. Here we go, Matt Parcell, right a few tackles, keep going. He has no support play, and you're right, trips himself up. Joe Burgess, the player that lands on him. But I think Corey Hall, when he's attempting to find a pass to a player, just gets his arm knocked and the ball spills out.
Okay, go.
You get the feeling there is a big twist.
There is a twist
somewhere.
Who's it on, Mark? Who are you going for?
Hold Sam, go on.
That's why you're here,
No,
Mark.
no. Well, I'm a little bit like everybody else. I'm just watching and enjoying and loving the drama.
Well, they were picked
Play on,
in Golden Point last week, Hull Kingston Rovers. Is it going to be a 3rd successive defeat for them? Salford about to make their way into the top 4. 7 remaining here. Game 1 of 3 today. Ball back to Atkin. Beautiful hands. They're through again here. Croft in support. Briley. Croft going for the line. He's dragged down. Can he get up? He'll pass it. Chance to win it for Salford. They're over the line. It's Chris Atkin who celebrates. He's got the try that should now win it for the Salford Red Devils. It's another former Robin that has put the boot in on Hull KR. Salford lead by 8.
Well, it's Salford's pet player around the play the ball. Looking at some of those tired, bigger players. It's great stuff, isn't it? And Chris Atkin and the Salford Red Devils take a deep breath, a sigh of relief. But know that this play was cut on the training field. There's some dejection there from Hull KR. Here's the mistake. Hull KR give possession away, but just look at the quality, look at the understanding in this play. Everybody knows what they're doing. There's a dejection from Corey Hall. Watch this. It goes back on the inside. Chris Atkin finds the fullback, Briley, and Joe Brodie Croft. Well, it was a risk and a gamble for him to not accept the tackle, view that he's not being tackled, and find the supporting player, Chris Atkin, who celebrates in style in front of his fans. I've seen that play all year, all last year, and it's something that players and coaches will talk about at the back end of games. Will get them.
And for the first time today, it's a 2-score lead, and time very much against Willie Peters and Danny Maguire, and Salford doing that whilst they were a player down. Briley with a couple of big breaks and a couple of match-winning breaks. 26 points to 16, 5 minutes remaining here, and Rovers up against it.
Mike, you asked me what the attitude of Paul Rowley would be. It was on about 50 minutes. Would it be reel it in, or would it be keep going and doing the same things? Hull KR get the ball back. Well, they've stuck with it. They've showed patience, and at some point it's come off for them.
Yes, indeed. As here now is Parcell, who made that break. Well, Paul Rowley will be proud as punch of this performance, because his team have done it the hard way. Struggled to convert chances in that first half. Ball's come free, and it's a penalty. So Hull KR not done yet. Need really to score here, as they're going to tap it. Ball now works its way across. Now or never. Ball out wide, and the intercept was almost on for Kensio.
They won't be too bothered with the knock-on from an intercept, or an attempted intercept from Kensio. There's a penalty that they play the ball.
On the line.
The clock is their friend at the minute, Salford.
Okay, go.
It is, so played against centre field then. Can Rovers set up one last chance? Big shot goes in there. Vuniyayo out with a shot. Didn't miss. There's been a few. Expect a few more as well. Wigan Catalans to come. Leeds Castleford to round off day one of the Magic weekend. Ball now working its way centre field. It's on the ground, and Salford have got it back, and that might just do it. Oh, there's a bit of pushing and shoving there. King involved, and then the Salford players come running in. Well, King on Atkin was a bit of a mismatch, Barry.
Yeah, I think that's a frustrated player. He's got to try for his afternoon.
James, this is your time.
Lachlan Coote, we're hearing, has failed his head injury assessment.
The referee's going to have to sort this, take some information from his touch judges. But he was in back players, the ball spills on the floor. George King, not the type of player.
Kensio was in.
Yeah, that's just after whatever had inflamed the situation had ignited.
It's worth bearing in mind as well, Barry, these two meet again in 2 weeks in the quarterfinals of the Challenge Cup, so...
There you go, that's what it is. So Chris Atkin, at the point that George King has made the mistake, I'd give him a little rub on the head. I'm not saying he's rubbing his hair, because I've got more on the back of my hand than he has on his head, but he's obviously didn't like the disrespect, stood up and told him.
That's all caused by you.
And quite right too. And quite right too. Chris Atkin, who obviously was on hand to score that crucial try, took liberties, and I like that from Chris Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the conduct again.
Sometimes the player that reacts gets penalised. I like to see it penalised at source.
Rovers need a miracle. Are they about to produce one? Lewis steps out of the Croft attempted tackle, then he goes to the ground.
Stand back, Tyler!
Fights to his feet. Not had the input into the game he would have liked today, Mikey Lewis. Rovers are 9 away, but it looks like 3 defeats on the spin for Willie Peters' side. Here now is Opacek. He's wrapped up. 5 away. Salford looking to keep them out.
Go for.
Are they going to go back to Ryan Hall on that left-hand side? That's where they're looking to work it now. Lewis gets it away. Ball spill, and it's picked up. Croft, has he hung on to that? He has somehow. And that's it. Rovers' day is over.
Well, Mark, you said it's the 3rd defeat. I think different to those 2 defeats before we came here to Magic Weekend. Hull KR had played well. You could put a case forward that, although they didn't get the points, they'd made some progress, they'd learned some things. I don't think they've learned much today. Well, what they have learned is they can't keep hold of the ball, they don't complete, they don't make the most of their opportunities. Willie Peters' side will go on with nothing.
Well, I think the thing that will worry Hull Kingston Rovers is they've lost to 3 sides that are in the top 6, haven't they? And if they're going to make the playoffs, they need to start winning some of these big games.
But it's important you learn the lessons on the way to sort of October, September, as it gets down to those last final games. If you're there or thereabouts in the top 6, you've learned everything that you need to learn, and you continue that upward trajectory, then you give yourself a chance.
Chris Atkin has been phenomenal today in the absence of Andy Ackers. As Sneed kicks the ball downfield, it loops up in the air. It was batted back by Burgess, but I think he knocked it forward, or did he? The referee's going to let play go on here, and Adam Sidlow, on his 350th career appearance, has just finished it off. I think Chris Kendall is going to say no try on the field. I have to say my gut reaction was Burgess knocked it forward. Let's find out.
It's tackle 5, no try. Can we go back to the kick, please, and check for the onside offside? Comes from a kick, so I need it paused on foot first, please.
Cheers, Nick.
Just waiting on onside offside. You got an onside offside here for the kick. Right, all chasers are onside, to the left. Apologies, not played at. Right, we're onside at this point. Something close in now on the catch, please, with Burgess and Kenny Dow. Thank you, I've seen everything I need.
First by Salford.
So, that's all. No try.
They've got that one right.
They have.
That's definitely no try.
Just spoiled Adam Sidlow's big day there. 350th career appearance, and he doesn't get the try. But his team are going to get the win, and this is a big win for Salford. And mentioned that Challenge Cup quarter-final tie a couple of weeks further down the road, but this is a big 2 points on the league ladder. And as we mentioned, 2 above them go head-to-head next, so they're going to be gaining ground as Rovers are going to try and move the ball along their back line, but it's too little too late for them.
Don't go early, Ben. Don't go early, go to...
And Salford, whilst they didn't make the most of those chances in the first half, they kept on going, and 2 Ryan Briley breaks in that second half have wrapped it up.
For me, it reinforces the importance of Jordan Abdul within that side.
Here's a chip over the top. They're looking to get away down this near side. It's regathered by Mark Sneed, who will maybe launch a counter-attack the other way. Briley's going to give chase here. King's back. Briley couldn't take it in. He couldn't take it in. Well, a helter-skelter end to this as Rovers are still playing on here. The Hooters gone in the background. They'll still offload it. There might yet be a try. There's a knock-on. That will do it. And Salford raise their arms in celebration. It's been hard work here. Frustration for Hull Kingston Rovers. Dale Cross was sent to the sin bin in that second half, but Paul Rowley's team found a way to win it. For Willie Peters, it's another defeat. 3 in a row for them. Rovers need to get back to winning ways, but it won't be an enjoyable weekend for their supporters because it's Salford Red Devils with 2 late tries from Seal and Atkin that wrap up the win and send the Salford faithful into raptures. It ends in game 1 of the Magic Weekend. Salford Red Devils 26, Hull Kingston Rovers 16.